Most of the young people that come into the military are there probably because they're trying to figure out who they are. They come in, they're open to talk about anything. They ask all kinds of questions. From an evangelistic standpoint, I've always referred to them as ripe as black bananas. And it's great to be a government-paid missionary.
Missions to Military, a ministry designed to win and train the military for Jesus Christ. It is our privilege to introduce these servicemen and women to the Great Commission of Jesus Christ. Remember, many of these young people will have an opportunity to view world missions firsthand as they travel at government expense.
Most importantly, I think as a Christian, and especially as a Southern Baptist, we put the chaplaincy under the mission board, the North American Mission Board. And that's because we really do look at our job, I look at my job, as the opportunity to be an evangelist, as the opportunity to be a missionary within the military.
Just want to find a group of people who would stand when nobody else would, who would stand when nobody else could. Thank you for standing for our country. Thank you for standing for our freedom. And thank you for standing for Jesus Christ.
Fort Benning is a very busy place. On any given day, you can find over 30,000 soldiers in training in one of 32 different schools. Training takes place 7 days a week and 50 weeks a year. Recent news predicts an additional 10 to 15,000 new soldiers will be added to this ripe harvest field in the next few years. In order to fulfill the obligation of preaching the gospel to every creature at Fort Benning, God has allowed us to diversify this ministry in unique areas.
These are training, and so they're in boot camp. They're being made into soldiers. So there's a lot of things that are being changed in their life, and they're reevaluating a lot of things in their life. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about today is how they can have a personal relationship with God. And we pray that not only do they become soldiers here in boot camp, but we pray that they'll come into God's army in the sense of giving their life over to Jesus Christ and serving Him.
A while back, I was assigned here as the School of Infantry Chaplain. When I got here, I realized that we had a unique opportunity here, one that doesn't exist in the other armed services. See, everybody that graduates from Marine Corps boot camp goes to the School of Infantry. Everybody in the Marine Corps is taught basic unit infantry skills before they go to their MOS or follow-on training. I realized this was a unique opportunity. This is what we call a gateway ministry.
This is Army Ranger School.
It puts the student, the Ranger student, in the absolute worst possible conditions. Most of them will go a couple of days with no food. Some of them have gone as long as 3 days without any sleep whatsoever. My goal has been to meet them when they're at their absolute worst, when they're coldest and the most tired and the most hungry that they're going to be. Because the more difficult the circumstances, the more receptive the average person becomes to issues of faith. Many of them are just confronted with the gospel for the first time with no distractions. And I think that's part of the reason why a number of them will respond.
The use of our armed forces as an evangelical Christian mission field is carried out from within the ranks of chaplains and other service members, as well as by civilian parachurch organizations. One of the largest military-wide parachurch ministries is Cadence International, whose strategic ministry is successful because, in their words, shaken people are usually more ready to hear about God than those who are at ease, making them more responsive to the gospel. The largest parachurch military ministry targeting young, vulnerable service members is Campus Crusade for Christ's military ministry.
The first strategic objective is to evangelize and disciple the enlisted members of the U.S. Armed Forces.
Our vision is to transform the nations of the world through the militaries of the world. We try to reach our recruits immediately. There are 450,000 recruits in the freshman class of this next year's Armed Forces. That's going through boot camp. We will touch about 200,000 of them this next year with our staff. We have staff at half of the nation's boot camps.
Through evangelism and discipleship, each year cadets are recognizing God's call upon their lives. A call which will make an impact around the world for the present and for eternity.
Our purpose for Campus Crusade for Christ at the Air Force Academy is to make Jesus Christ the issue at the Air Force Academy and around the world. And I think that we're seeing God do that. We're seeing kids come to Christ, being built up in their faith, and being sent out to reach the world. They're government-paid missionaries when they leave here.
The following clips, all filmed in Afghanistan, clearly demonstrate the effect of this pervasive and pernicious pattern and practice of evangelical Christian proselytization throughout our military.
Do we know what it means, though, to proselytize?
There's no doubt these men knew the rules.
It's in General Order number 1.
Number 1, man.
Right there.
You cannot proselytize, but you can give gifts.
Okay, let's talk about it. What do you think?
We got to overcome evil with good. And faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these love. And it's we just got to love these people and show them that there's a better way. And so that's why we're here. Our weapons aren't carnal, and no weapon formed against us shall prosper.
That's right.
But especially pray for the Afghan people as well, that everyone here would just know the truth of Christ more and more every day, and that it would really make them free.
All of you, if you name the name of Christ, are commissioned to be witnesses for Him. You said, does that mean we all preachers? Mm-hmm.
The man giving the sermon, the chief of the chaplains in Afghanistan, Lieutenant Colonel Gary Hensley. He tells the congregation, all of them servicemen and women, that they need to go on a recruiting drive for the faith.
The Special Forces guys, they hunt men, basically. We do the same thing as Christians. We hunt people for Jesus. We do. We hunt them down. Get the hound of heaven after them. So we get them in the kingdom. Right? That's what we do. That's our business.
Please help the Military Religious Freedom Foundation stop the use of our U.S. Armed Forces as government-paid missionaries. Please make a fully tax-deductible donation.